Sorry, man. That's just for hosts.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, what that's for is to time up
to make the guests feel unwelcome.
So we have to time up the clips because there's 3 different clips going on. So we just need that one common sound on all of them so he can line them up.
Okay.
So no, we're not gonna clap your hand.
So today we have
That's terrible.
Michael Rullan from Ancestral Supplements.
How do you say your last name?
Well, it's actually Rullan.
Wow.
Because it's Spanish.
He's already gonna start.
Can I say Rullan? Because I don't know how to
But
pronounce
yeah,
that.
that's how I would say it.
Say it one more time.
Rullan.
No, I ain't getting that. There's no way.
Too white.
Wow. Okay. So yeah, we got Michael Rullan.
Yeah.
It's what us folks.
It's
are
the
gonna
Willis
say.
way to
It's
say
the
it.
Willis way to say it. We got a lot of different ways to do things here. Well, I guess introduce yourself.
Well, so yeah, Michael.
We'll go with Michael. Yeah.
I work for Ancestral Supplements.
Yep.
We're a nose to tail encapsulated organ meat.
I like how that's described. Nose to tail.
Nose to tail, yeah.
Every piece of the animal.
Nothing
That's
is
like
wasted,
from front to back instead of like top to bottom. You got the nose, which is at the front, and then the tail, which is at the
So
back.
we've described it perfectly for our listeners who can't visualize at all. So
Yeah. Well, what you don't want is you don't want a nose to toe product because that would be a whole different. Yeah, we don't want that.
Okay. So
So yeah, we're nose to tail encapsulated organ meats. The mission of our company is putting back in what the modern world has left out, because organ meats used to be common fare of our early ancestors. And not only was this what they ate, but nothing was wasted. They ate every part of the animal, used every part of the animal. If they made a big kill, that hunt lasted the entire tribe several weeks.
right.
But now, because of agriculture, modern civilization, we've stepped away from all of that.
Right.
And organ meats are no longer a part of our common dietary fare.
It's definitely not what people are thinking about eating.
Yeah, I don't go to Kroger.
Liver and intestine, like, I don't know, any product you're talking about.
And it's hard to find, too.
Sure. I mean, who's processing that and packaging it?
Yeah, well,
Other than maybe you guys.
I know.
You know?
There's a market of it over in well, actually, several countries in the world.
Right.
We'll
Well, okay,
find it.
America,
yeah.
for
but
sure,
but
yeah.
in the U.S., it's not very common.
Not as common, yeah.
So that's where we come in,
Sure.
because then, okay, so education is part of it. People understand, okay, organ meats are very nutritious.
Right.
But man, I just don't want to wrap my teeth around some liver. I don't want to eat brain. I don't want to
Why
eat
not?
heart.
Does it make you smarter?
Does brain make you smarter?
Yeah.
It can provide the fundamental building blocks.
Well, hey, let's do this. Let's do this before we jump into that too much, right? Because I know you're rolling. With
I'm
it
on
right
a
now.
roll already.
You're on a
Yeah,
roll.
I'm getting into
We
it.
want to get to know you a little better. We got a couple of questions we're gonna fire off the
So
hip.
you've listened to a few of our episodes.
Yeah.
You know that we always start with some light banter. We talk
Yeah.
about random things that are going on in our lives. So I think, Justin, that's where these questions stem from.
Yeah.
Is that?
Yeah, this is
that
gonna
little-
mean this has nothing to do. This is probably nothing real important, but figured anybody listening might want to get to know you a little better, including us, right?
Yeah.
We don't know you that well. I mean, you could be some random guy trying to take my wallet. I'm just kidding. So anyway, no, I know you well enough to know that's not gonna happen. So we're just gonna throw some off the hip, give a kind of quick answer, and we'll see how it goes. You ready?
I hope so.
You're not ready. All right. Favorite movie of all time?
Top Gun.
Really? They got a new one coming out, right?
I've never seen that movie.
He's never
It's 'cause-
seen anything
Yeah,
ever.
I know. We got to do the whole. You got to try new things again.
Yeah.
episode.
Exactly.
Top Gun.
He needs to listen to what we
Hey,
talked about.
I just watched a new movie last night, so it was
Yes.
Kill Bill. I watched Kill Bill.
Okay, that's not that good of a movie.
It's
Why did you? Isn't Gwyneth Paltrow in that? No.
No,
It's Uma
that's
Thurman.
Uma Thurman,
Yeah.
yeah.
So anyway, Top Gun.
Yeah.
New movie's coming out. Did you see that?
I've heard about this new movie
yeah.
coming out.
Super Bowl had some commercials on it
I
last
think.
night.
Oh, they did.
Yeah.
I thought I watched all the commercials. I didn't see that.
I saw one at least, and I didn't
Yeah.
really watch that closely. But anyway,
Top Gun.
Top Gun's favorite of all time. Favorite workout song. Or maybe a genre. I don't know. I mean,
you know
what
what?
pumps you up, man? Like you want it to come. Like you're about to enter the stage at the CrossFit Games, and there's one song that you're gonna get going.
Your
with.
walkout song.
Your walkout song.
Man, probably any Lil Wayne song.
Oh yeah, Lil Wayne.
Yeah,
All right.
a Lil Wayne song. If it's got a sick beat,
Yeah.
that's.
They got
what
a
I
lot
like
of Lil
about it.
Wayne in
Solid
Puerto
choice.
Rico.
I mean, yeah, he's popular. Yeah, but that's not the popular music in Puerto Rico. It's more reggaeton, and now Bad Bunny is huge. Bad Bunny
He was at the
he made the
halftime.
halftime show,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
took me by surprise. I was like Puerto Rico pride all over the place.
Wow. Yeah, because they had the flag running around.
They had
there,
the
I thought.
flag. J-Lo had the flag. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, probably anything Lil Wayne. That'll be my walkout.
Okay. Lil Wayne walkout. Favorite CrossFit athlete.
Favorite CrossFit athlete.
Besides someone in this room, because
Yeah. I
obvious
mean, we
choice.
obviously know it's Gary, but
that's a tough one. You know, I always like.
I'll give you one for male and one for female if it makes it easier.
Well, on the male side, I always try to relate to somebody who's
Similar
to me.
Right.
And so I've always liked
in terms of like
Brent,
strengths or
in body type.
Body
like
type.
Right.
I'm a tall guy,
Right,
and I always
right,
feel like I'm at some disadvantage with these 5'8" dudes who are 185, and I'm
Hey,
over here
talking mess. I
220. I
told
know.
you this guy was going to get mad at me over here.
But Brent Fikowski.
Nice.
I like Brent Fikowski, and not only that, but for the longest time, I think Brent was even holding a full-time job as an accountant,
Exactly.
and killing
Yeah.
in the games. And I think that's really inspirational as well because he's
wasn't even full time gig.
he's
for him.
maintaining a life, a career, and
Right.
just
And being-
crushing it. So
Yes.
Brent Fikowski.
that's why I always had respect for Vellner is making the podium year after year and being in school, which
Right,
I've
right.
always thought was crazy.
Well, Matt Frazier was also finishing up
Oh,
his
was he?
degree at Ohio State. I believe his first fittest CrossFit Games championship or whatnot. So, yeah, I mean, and these guys are just freak athletes too, right? I mean, but dedication is in there, and then having a full time job, I think it kind of resonates with people. Like, I can still be a badass and do regular life, you know. Female side, got a favorite athlete
On
over there?
the female side, she'll probably kill me if I say this, but I'm gonna have to say Kirsten Young.
Nice. Okay.
And she's been to regionals,
Right.
and I just think she's a untapped freak potential
Right.
athlete.
There you
yeah.
go.
Well, that's winning you some bonus points there. Good answer. All right. Before CrossFit, did you work out before, and what'd you do?
Before CrossFit, fitness has always been a part of my life. When I graduated from high school, I went to American University to study exercise science and health promotion in Washington, D.C.
Right.
And I saw this ad that the AFAA was coming and they were going to, do a weekend seminar for a personal trainer certification. I was like, oh, that's I would love that. And so I became a personal trainer, got certified, started working as a floor trainer at the gym there.
What gym?
It,
Like a local
it
gym?
was the university gym.
Oh, the university
At the university
Gotcha.
gym of American University. But then after a year, I moved back to Puerto Rico. I got a job as a personal trainer at Powerhouse Gym. I would train some private clients as well, go to their houses. So fitness has always been a big part of my life.
How old were you when you were doing this?
This was 18 to, for a long time.
Right. Okay.
I mean,
How old are you right now?
I'm 36.
36. Gosh, you're old. No I'm kidding.
So, yeah, I mean, I was a personal trainer and worked in gyms and fitness facilities from the age of 18 all the way till I started working for Ancestral Supplements 2
Really?
years ago.
So you've had a long career in.
Yeah.
I mean,
So I've always been
It's
in the
always
gym,
been, yeah.
always been lifting. I mean, even back when it was just a global gym, it was, bench on Monday, skip leg day on Wednesday.
skip leg day on
Yeah,
Wednesday.
that was my training routine.
So, how long you been doing CrossFit?
CrossFit, I've been doing it since 2012.
Okay.
Been doing CrossFit. Yeah.
Next question. This is kind of a two-part. Like, obviously, just based on what you're saying, where you're from, where you've been. I was going to ask you, where have you traveled? I think that might be a long question or a long answer. But what was your favorite spot? Where have you traveled that you enjoyed the most? Have you traveled much? I mean, it sounds a little bit
I have.
like you have.
I'll give you two parts of my life.
Okay.
So growing up, my stepdad, we traveled. We didn't travel a lot. It's not like every year I was in a different school, but there were 2 years that we lived in Spain. From 1994 to 96, I lived in
the
in
golden
Madrid.
years of Spain.
It was.
I don't know.
It was awesome. It was awesome, and just to have that cultural shock and cultural experience of living in another country and submerging yourself in the country, like you're not just visiting. You're now a part of it.
You know the hideout spots and the good stuff, right?
You know everything.
Did you move from Puerto Rico to there? You said?
Yeah. Yeah, it was Puerto Rico to there, and then from there we moved to Richmond, Virginia for a few years, and then we moved back to Puerto Rico.
That's like a dud. Like you go from Puerto Rico, Spain, Virginia. Which actually Virginia's. I've drove through there and stayed the night once or twice, and it's a pretty beautiful state. I guess everywhere.
I think Virginia's beautiful. Yeah. I didn't enjoy it.
No.
It was
at that point.
That was culture shock for me.
Right.
I couldn't wait to get out of there.
Oh, I could imagine.
Didn't they just get Whataburgers? Like Texas?
Well, see, if they would have had Whataburgers, I think we'd been all right.
Yeah.
So that was probably the problem. Do you Netflix?
Do I
have
Netflix?
Do you have a membership?
Well, yeah.
Of course, duh.
I have. In fact, well, actually, it's my fiance Kirsten that has Netflix. So
we ratted you out.
Yeah, I have.
Netflix
I
is
have
coming for you.
YouTube. I have YouTube TV.
Nice.
That's how I watch TV.
Okay, so that's okay. So Netflix or YouTube? What's a favorite show that you watch? Do you have a series? Do you documentary? There's a show that you watch. What would be your go-to? This might get weird.
Yeah, this guy. All right. So
you don't have to be honest if it's that weird.
So I've recently really gotten into this show, The Masked Singer.
The Masked.
That's a TV show. That's a reality TV show.
Yeah,
where they are in like a costume, right?
They're in costumes, and you don't know who's behind it. It could be an athlete. It could be
are they any good
a
at
Grammy
singing?
artist. It could. Some of them are phenomenal at singing.
They're well-known people.
They're well-known. Everybody's a celebrity, but they're in this elaborate costume, and they go on stage, and you get some clues at the beginning, and so you're trying to figure out the clues, and then they come on and they sing a song, and sometimes you're like blown away, like who is this guy? The last season, the Fox one, and the Fox turned out to be Wayne Brady, and I had this mad respect for Wayne Brady now.
Let's ask him the question, Gary. Do you know who Wayne Brady is?
Yeah.
Well, let me expand on what you think.
No, I have no idea who Wayne Brady is.
And anyway,
Can I? Well, who is he?
Look him up. Anyway, so moving on.
Do that right now.
It's Wayne Brady is one of the most talented guys in show business, or at least was at one point. I mean, whose line is it anyway?
Whose line is it? I think that made him pretty famous.
Yeah, and then he did some other TV and some movies, right? But that was where, I mean, he's a good singer, actor, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I always liked
if you watch that finale of The Masked Singer,
that was last season.
He's a phenomenal rapper. I mean, that dude was.
He's
insane.
talented.
He's
very
very
talented. I want to say I'm missing some highlights of what he's done for sure, but very talented guy.
Yeah, I've never seen any of this stuff.
He did the Dave Chappelle show, which I think was pretty famous, and that he he's not gangster at all. He's very nice guy, but in the Dave Chappelle show, he did a skit where he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go hang out with Wayne Brady," and Wayne Brady's like, he's got some girls on the street, and he's like driving around pimping and with a gun and all this stuff. Anyway,
he was in Stuart Little. I've seen that movie. Stuart Little 3.
Don't know. So I don't feel so bad now with the TV shows that I watch based on what you watch.
Yeah, that's not my thing. I don't watch reality TV shows that much.
Yeah.
It's never been a...
He's basically saying he doesn't like you. All right. So here's a little deeper question. Role model. Who would you say is your role model, or has been, or could be? I don't know.
Oh, man.
It's a pretty deep one.
Yeah, that is a tough one. I would have to say, my role model has, for a very long time, has been my father.
Yeah.
My father is just, he passed away in the middle of last year.
Right.
And there was nobody else in the world I would rather talk to when I was ever in a hard time.
Hard spot, yeah.
The level of patience, but also unbiased advice giving was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And I I think I could strive my hardest to be like that, as good as he was at just being somebody to lean on, a solid rock that somebody can lean on. And I think I would always fail. I'd always fall short. And yeah, I mean, it's been tough since he passed away a half a year ago. But because I find myself in situations where I'm like, man, I don't know who to go to.
Want to ask that question, and he's not there. Yeah, I lost my father probably just a year before that. And so I know where you're coming from with that, but at the same time, I think it's always something to look at. Like, at least we got that for the time that we did. You know what I'm saying? So it's never a situation that you wish upon anybody, especially if there's a good relationship there. But you know, for me, it was like at least I got those experiences and established that relationship for sure. So.
Exactly.
Cool, man. If you weren't doing CrossFit, what would you be doing? I mean, I feel like it's kind of a hard question for you to answer because I feel like you've been in fitness your whole life. But if you weren't doing CrossFit, CrossFit falls out. You know, there's no CrossFit anymore. What are you doing? Let's say, I guess, for fitness, because you don't do it necessarily for a job. You got Ancestral Supplements that you do. So this would be more like, what would take its place in the fitness? Or would you just do it?
Man, it would probably. I would invent. Right. I would invent another CrossFit. No. It would probably be some sport. Yeah. It would have to be some type of sport. I don't know.
It's like,
that's that. You know,
it's a scary thought.
This type of question always kind of scares me because it's like, man,
what would my life
be?
Yeah,
I mean, what did I do before CrossFit? You know,
right.
You know, like,
and do I want to go back to that?
Yeah.
No, it is a scary. Like, I own a gym. It's completely my life, and so if I didn't do CrossFit, there's an identity crisis there a little bit, right? It's a piece of you. You've put a lot of time and effort into. So I right now. Reading a book, I can't ever say his name. Gary, how'd you say?
Vaynerchuk, I think.
Vaynerchuk, and he talks a lot about, you know, if there's a certain identity, like what would happen if you were, you know, it was taken away from you basically, and so. What's going on over there, Gary?
That was Siri.
Siri's talking
on
to
my
you?
watch.
Is everything okay with Siri?
I don't know. It scared me. It made me jump a little bit.
Yeah, well, hopefully you get that on the videos there. But no, he talked about, like, you know, there's identity in a lot of things that we do, and we got to be real careful, you know, that we don't necessarily overinvest or underinvest. And so there's a balance there for sure. And so that's one of those questions. Well, before we go on a break, we've kind of said it already, but you're from Puerto Rico. And I think for those that are watching on the YouTube video, I don't know, you don't probably look like the normal Puerto
they're
Rico
probably
guy.
like...
I never would have guessed that.
I've had other Puerto Ricans say, no, you're not. You're a liar.
So, but you speak fluent Spanish.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. First language, second language? How does that work?
I always tell people that English is my second language.
Right.
Spanish is my third language.
Okay.
And I really don't have a first language because I never really got to the point of dominating either one.
You're pretty bad at both.
I'm bad at both. So,
that's funny.
And then some people will even tell me, well, you should use your first language more and just be quiet.
Right. Yeah. Don't talk.
Kirsten's told me that a couple times.
I definitely thought you were like, I don't know, man. I thought you were from like Europe or something. I don't know why I thought that.
Yeah,
Did you ever get that?
Yeah. Most people guess Europe. I get that, like from the Eastern Bloc.
Yeah.
Or from the upper, like New Jersey, New York.
See, I've heard that, but I don't hear it. I lived in New York for a little over a year. I don't hear that at all. Maybe like somebody that moved from Europe to New York, but that's about as close as it for me. But how did you end up? How does that story go? How do you end up in Puerto Rico?
How do I end up in Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
Well,
where were you born?
I was born in Houston.
Oh, okay.
I was born in Houston. My mom and my dad were living.
Well, you don't have to
Houston.
tell us how babies are made.
Exactly. So I'm but anyway, they divorced, and my mother remarried when I was young, and she married my stepfather, who to me is like my father as well, because he raised me my whole life from the age of 4 on up, and so we moved to Puerto Rico.
Nice.
So from the age of 4, I grew up in Puerto Rico, pretty much my entire childhood. Except for those stints where he went to Spain, went to Virginia, and then came back to Puerto Rico. But Puerto Rico was always home.
Who's Puerto Rican? Your mom or your dad?
My mom was born in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
My dad, he's actually he's born in Oklahoma, grew up in California.
Nowhere close.
Yeah.
To Puerto Rico.
No.
Okay. That answers some questions. So, you got anything that you want to throw off the hip real quick for me?
Did you wear that shirt on purpose? Just like, because we're wearing the same shirt. You can't see in the video.
I know, yeah.
The funny thing is, though, what size is your shirt?
Large.
Oh, extra large.
I'm not going to say anymore.
How do you wash your shirt? Because mine is definitely, it's not as well taken care of as yours, clearly.
I don't know. I just throw it in cold water, and I use
some good information.
I use that 7th generation soap. Or
7th generation.
there was a time there when I was just washing my clothes with baking soda and vinegar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Homemade style.
Homemade wash clothes.
That's good tips. All right.
You got anything else other than that?
No.
All right.
No.
I think we're going to take a quick little break, and when we come back, we're going to dive into something that he lives by and does, and he's got some products here we're going to talk about. So when we come back, we'll get after that.
All right, guys, while we're on break, I just want to let you guys know that we do have a Patreon account set up. If you're wondering what a Patreon account is, it allows you to support us, donate to us, and get some things in return, such as bonus content, bonus episodes of the podcast, stuff like that, as well as shout-outs, Q&A priorities, stuff like that. So if you want to support the Olympian Project, go to patreon.com/Olympian Project, where you can donate to our Patreon account and get some cool stuff. So, yeah, let's jump back into the episode, guys.
Sorry, dude.
Oh,
All
right, here we go.
All right.
I feel so out of the club when you guys do that.
Well, there's a point. We have to make ourselves superior to our guests.
Yeah.
So it's just to make you feel intimidated.
Establish dominance. Which I don't think that's really possible with your stature.
Yeah. No one's getting dominated right now. So we're back here with Michael Rullan.
You got it right there. That was good. Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't think of
Just
that.
don't roll the R and turn the L into a J.
Rullan.
Rullan.
Oh, okay.
So
there's no rolling.
Yeah. When I say Rullan, I'm trying to be fancy and do something I know you guys can't do. You can just say Rullan.
Rullan, man. What's up,
Okay.
Rullan?
Okay.
What's up? Yeah.
All right.
Well, that's better than calling you Rullan, which is very American.
Yeah. We butchered that. I'm pretty sure I told everybody it was Rullan. Like, that sounds like one of them. What's that movie? Isn't there a Rullan?
Like Mulan?
Oh,
like the Disney
Mulan.
princess?
Yes. He's like a Mulan.
Yeah, we got to not do that.
Not Mulan? All right. So, okay, we got all the cool questions out of the way, just dealing with who you are as a person. And now we're gonna get after it. We're gonna really judge who you. No, I'm kidding. We're gonna get into something though. I think that a lot of our listeners would be, wanting to hear and learn about. And we've talked very briefly, I would say, over some of this stuff. And we're gonna start with the diet that you follow. I found this very interesting. I've never practiced it myself, and I'd be honest. I've never been told some of this stuff, so I was like kind of caught off guard. So I guess let's start off with what diet is that you follow?
All right. Well, let me start out by saying that when it comes to diet, I think a lot of people can get very dogmatic about this and almost like religious with it.
Yeah,
and, the main thing with me is I never typically stick to one single diet for more than 3 months. Something's always got to change.
Okay.
And it's just like with fitness, you have the biological law of accommodation, where if you just did Fran every day, you would be phenomenal at Fran.
That's it.
You also hate your life.
But you would not be good at anything else, and so. And it would also get to the point where probably your body would just adapt to that workout, and you would hit a wall, and you wouldn't be able to continue progressing.
Well, I was going to say adaptation would occur, and just like in our workouts, we constantly vary model. I mean, why has CrossFit been so successful? So you're saying you lean into that in your diet as well.
I'm always changing something up, but there are some core principles in there. So basically, what diet that I follow is a carnivore based diet, and carnivore. What that means is you're eating only animal products,
Right.
and you're excluding everything else. So basically, you don't eat any plants or anything that comes from plants,
Right.
or that would be a plant, like a seed or anything
Right.
like that. So it's a carnivore based diet, and so that becomes very simple. Well, what do you eat? I eat meat. I eat organs.
Who could be unhappy with that though? Like saying it makes me really excited. That
Yeah.
I need to try this.
I think I eat ribs 4-5 times a week. I mean, who would be mad about eating that?
Yeah, a few people that I follow and in like the fitness industry are Mark Bell and Joe Rogan. Mark Bell has always been like a carnivore diet guy. He's lived by it for a long time. And then Joe Rogan actually started in January. He did the carnivore diet.
Yeah.
Been on it a month.
Yeah, so he did it for a month and he posted an Instagram video and he had nothing but good things to say about it. And so it's made me think, like, I'm actually thinking about trying it for at least a month. Like what would that hurt?
Awesome.
After this upcoming comp that we have, I was thinking about trying it then. So
But okay, carnivore diet. I guess. We'll go. Continue to elaborate. I think you got some more.
And by the way, I mean, I love those guys. Mark Bell, I think, is an amazing influencer. Joe Rogan, I think it's awesome that he gave this a shot, and he's done it so publicly. I love how he's involved with it. I really like Dr. Paul Saladino, Carnivore MD. He's from a clinical medical side. He's really doing a great job.
What was his name again?
Oh, Dr. Paul Saladino.
So that's for the listeners, not for me. I was just wanted to make sure they heard that.
Dr. Sean Baker's another one. He's out there quite a bit. So yeah, there's a lot of wonderful influencers out there that are helping to spread the message about it. But what I was elaborating on was, so I eat meat, I eat organs, I eat eggs, and
These are all animal, right?
and yeah, they're all animal, animal
not
products.
human.
No,
Okay,
no,
just clarifying.
that'd be something else.
Yeah, edit that out.
And that's basically what encompasses it. Now, something that I do that is actually not part of the carnivore diet is I eat plenty of rice, white rice.
Really?
And I use this just purely for performance-based reasons.
Yeah.
In the sport of CrossFit, you guys know it's a highly glycolytic sport,
Right.
and I use the rice as just basically as glycolytic fuel.
Quick source of some energy, right?
That's right. So after a workout, I'll go home and I'll probably eat a cup of rice with 6 eggs.
So
just real quick, that's something that, like, because I said I'm thinking about doing it, I asked my dad, is that a good idea? Because, and he's very knowledgeable about stuff like this. I said, would that be an issue? Like not getting any glycogen or carbs or anything, because I do CrossFit. And he said, well, eventually your body would just kick into ketosis and you'd be getting all the benefits from that. And so that's something that you avoid is you want carbs.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong. I think ketosis is awesome, and I think you can perform just as well in ketosis as if you were a sugar burner. But the adaptation, you would have to be willing to give up 3 months of performance to go through that. And I mean, I've done it. I was ketogenic doing CrossFit for a year and a half at least, and in the first 3 months, all my lifts declined by 10%. Every single one of them, snatch, back squat, bench press, everything declined. But then it came back. It did come back. Once you get that fat adaptation, and I do believe it's something everybody should go through, because once you become fat adapted, even if you go out and eat 17 cupcakes, once you burn through that, you're right back into fat adaptation, because you can't get away. You don't take away from the biological machinery that your body produces when you force it into ketosis. So it's very cool to have that metabolic flexibility. And the people who don't tap into ketosis or tap out of it, I believe they run into problems. Even if you're ketogenic for years and years and years, you can ultimately develop physiological insulin resistance. It's kind of like, all right, now you're, you got pre-diabetes,
Right.
and you've been doing something that is supposedly healthy, but you overdid it. So
you're saying some sort of cycle in and out slightly?
yeah, and so this is referred to as like CKD, cyclical ketogenic dieting, and so that becomes very, very helpful as well.
Right. So you said you could have up to 17 cupcakes?
On a cheat day. On a cheat day, yeah.
On a cheat day, 17 cupcakes.
All within a 30-minute time frame.
Oh, well, that's even better.
That actually brings me into my next point is, well, I guess we kind of covered, but do you have like any like limitations or do you have cheat days and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. I think a cheat day is always going to happen, because so I like to not plan for a cheat day and just let it happen, because it's always going to come around. Yeah. It's always going to be there.
Oh, we're fighting against our culture now in
Yeah.
America to eat crap all the time. So dealing with clients on a day-to-day basis, like the worst thing I think I can see for somebody having a cheat day is like them beat themselves up over it. Like, oh, I'm going to eat perfect. In this society, in this culture, you would have to have been never introduced to a lot of this stuff. And that's just not how it is anymore. So cheat days are going to happen. It's more, for me, what you're going to do right after that cheat meal, and bounce back from it. So,
and I think what you're touching upon is a good point. Like the mental stress people go through when they have these unplanned cheat days,
Right.
I think can backfire as well, because
Exactly.
now you don't want to have those stress hormones and
Right.
and all that stuff flooding through your system. If you're gonna have a cheat day, might as well just embrace it and enjoy it.
Well, I'm reading a book right now, and I've talked about it a lot. It's a book that I'm really enjoying called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Crap.
I think that's the
actual-
scaled version.
the scale version of the book. But there's a whole concept of, nobody's perfect, so don't try and pretend you're perfect. It's only going to end up hurting you. So if you accept that, hey, I'm not going to be able to eat perfect all the time, and I have something like a goal to work towards where I can eat better and better, like that's a good thing,
Yeah.
And not having a cheat day, that's...
I even think some people refer to something like that, like the 80-20 rule. If you mess up 20% of the time, you're still winning,
Yeah. So to dive in a little more deeper, like you CrossFit, you do the Carnivore. So break down kind of a year, and short version of like how do you cycle in and out, and is that planned or you kind of feel it out? Like your body's telling you it's time to change it up. Like how would you, through a year of training and all that good stuff, how would you approach that?
Yeah. So I don't really plan out an entire year, but I do try to plan out 3 months at a time. So right now, what I'm doing is I've adopted Stan Efferding's approach to the vertical diet, and it's basically a carnivore diet with rice, using the rice as a weapon for performance.
Right.
And
Would you suggest CrossFitters or high performance athletes to probably be on that version of the carnivore diet?
I would suggest that. Yeah, if you're a strength athlete or a very glycolytic athlete, such as CrossFit, I think this does help.
Right.
But it's not a requirement.
Okay.
And I'm just messing around with it. I'm having fun with it. To see what the rice does, but I have it planned March 15th. I'm gonna go off the rice.
Right.
I'm switching off. I'm taking the rice out, and I'm just gonna go hardcore carnivore.
Is that to lean up some, or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be to lean up to get a little more shredded.
Summertime is around the corner. Spring break,
So,
all that good stuff.
You do a cyclical diet every 3 months. Is there any other diets you've played with besides carnivore diet that you've seen, if you like them better, or you think this is a better diet?
Well, yeah, I have messed around with the paleo diet. I've messed around with that. To me, it's all kind of been like a stepping stone progression here.
Right.
Like, I did paleo, and then paleo evolved to keto, and then keto evolved to carnivore,
Right.
and
And I guess
there might be another level after carnivore. It might be the scavenger diet where you just eat rotten meat.
So that evolution is basically taking out the carbs, is that what you're saying that the evolution has done? Like paleo allows for quite a bit of fruits and vegetables. Keto, you are on a very limited amount, and then carnivore, I guess, is without the addition of rice would be
right. I mean, it's carnivore would essentially be a zero carb diet.
Right.
It would essentially be a zero carb diet. But the biggest thing that I noticed, I do think performance on carnivore can be better than on keto, because keto not only puts a limitation on carbohydrates, but it also puts a limitation on protein.
Right.
So because of gluconeogenesis, if you guys are aware, if you consume more protein in a sitting than your body can handle, your body will convert that into glucose.
We kicked out of ketosis.
And so you can get kicked out of ketosis by eating a chicken breast,
right?
And that has no carbs in it. So the actual carnivore diet, I think, supplies
some more energy,
a little more energy, especially for the glycolytic athlete,
right?
To perform. I mean, when I switched from to carnivore, and I did carnivore for the first time last April. So that was almost, I've been almost a year on the carnivore diet, and I actually felt my performance improve. I felt my performance go up.
I never really looked at it like that, but that makes a lot of sense. That they're almost holding that back.
Yeah, I was eating a ton of protein, that's for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's where the energy was coming from.
And to build on that, after, because it seems like this hasn't been always a thing, after starting the carnivore diet, what, like, besides performance, because obviously you say you had a performance benefit, you felt like better in the gym, what were the other noticeable benefits? I'm stuttering as I'm doing this.
So he's like, man, we got some all-star here. He's gonna get your autograph afterwards.
I don't know about all that.
He's struggling right now. I've never seen him this worked up about it. It's so weird.
So health benefits. I think a lot. There are many other people that could gain health benefits from a carnivore style diet than what I could. I felt I was pretty healthy at the time when I made the switch. I did feel an improvement in digestion. Right. I noticed I noticed stuff like my skin just looked better, or my nails became stronger. I felt like my teeth were stronger. These.
Who are you, Wolverine?
No, these are like those little
that's
things
important.
that. I mean, that something good must be going on the inside as well. But the carnivore diet is an elimination style diet. So even if you try carnivore, like Garrett, you're interested in doing carnivore for 30 days, I think that's an awesome approach to have to it, because, like I said, I don't think it needs to be dogmatic. It doesn't have to say, oh no, you carnivore or you don't do it at all. No, do it as an elimination diet, and then you can, after 30 days, introduce other things and see how that affects you. Introduce dairy for a period of 3 or 4 days and see if you have any type of reactions. The biggest benefit that I hear from people about switching to carnivore is digestive and autoimmune stuff. When they switch to a carnivore diet, this just seems to clear these things up, and it makes sense, because the thing about carnivore is it isn't just like, oh well, try carnivore because it sounds cool, or who wants? Of course, you want to eat meat. Meat tastes great, all this stuff. But plants do actually have built-in defense mechanisms.
Yeah, that's what I was going to go into next, because I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think there's going to be some people that listen to this and are going to be like, wait a minute, man, what about the micronutrients of the fruits and vegetables, and this is the fiber and all these arguments that say not even just a vegan, like somebody that has a paleo diet. So we talked about this before a little bit. So what do you tell somebody that's like, you got to have your fruits and vegetables in your diet? Where would you go with that for them?
Yeah, and I'm sure they're thinking from a micronutrient standpoint. Exactly. They're worried about some type of nutrient deficiency. The truth is that it's very hard for us as humans to derive nutrients from plants.
Right.
A lot of these nutrients are just wrapped up in cellulose, and we don't have the digestive system to really break this down, break it apart, derive the nutrients from it. Take carrots, for example. Carrots have this, are lauded for vitamin A.
Right.
Like they have vitamin A, but it's vitamin A and beta carotene, and your body may be able to derive 50% of that.
Right.
What's another rich source of vitamin A? Liver. People don't even think about that, but liver is huge in vitamin A, and it's not in beta carotene, it's in retinol, which is preformed vitamin A. So your body's going to get all of that vitamin A. So
Broken down easier.
Oh, it's already there. It's like
Right.
it's ready for you to just have for the taking.
Sure.
So the micronutrients in plants are very hard to access, and they come wrapped up with a lot of toxins, phytates, anti-nutrients that may actually be causing more harm than any potential good that they could have. So, that's why especially people who have digestive issues or autoimmune conditions, this could be life-changing, game-changing for them.
Right.
It's funny we use the word game changers because there recently is a Game Changers movies out there, which is all plant-based. But anyway, yeah, it could be.
What is this? What is this movie? Game Changers? Never heard of it.
The Game Changers, yeah.
It's about plants?
It's about a plant-based diet.
Oh, okay.
It's a documentary?
It's a documentary.
Yeah, I
Oh,
think
okay.
I've heard of that, actually.
Okay.
I think my dad said something about that
Okay.
before.
Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry to take you off track there, but yeah, plants, no bueno, if I may. Puerto Rico, I do know that part, but yeah. So you talked about that they're actually, and the way you described it to me before was like the seeds are the most toxic of the plants, or in some cases.
In many cases, because the seed is the baby plant,
Right.
so to speak,
protecting the young.
It's filled with the most amount of toxins. It's filled with the most amount of anti-nutrients to harm whatever would eat it.
Like a baby snake who has. It doesn't. Well, maybe this is not the same exact thing, but they have more. They don't know how to control their venom, but they have more venom on a release on a bite. So if a venomous snake, if you get bit by a baby, I guess a baby snake. I don't know. Is there another term for that? But they will release too much venom.
Snakelet.
But I guess it's not exactly the same. But
no, but I do get what you're saying, and I think you're on the right track because if you look at the plant, so the seed would probably be the most toxic, and then as you move up the plant, the stem, the leaf, there are different levels of anti-nutrients, phytates, toxins that are embedded into the plant itself. So. Broccolini, for example, would have a higher amount of toxins than broccoli.
right.
But they'll both produce sulforaphane when you consume them, and then that's highly toxic to your body.
Right.
So yeah.
So better to snort the broccoli.
Yeah,
to
because
eat it.
then it would bypass the enzymatic process.
Yes,
If you snort it. That's
Okay.
right.
So okay, now paleo, they have some vegetables, they eat meat, obviously, and then you've got the other side of the spectrum that don't eat any meat, and they're vegans, and they're just on a plant-based diet, right? So that's a lot of health concerns potentially. And I've actually talked to some folks that were on, they were vegan. They raised their kids that way, and they all became pre-diabetic by like 1 point. So there was one health issue there. Not even talking about like the toxins that you're talking about. And she was 35 at the time, and developed thyroid issues and cancer all at 35, and thought she was doing she's not vegan anymore, but she does still believe in the micronutrients part of that. So I think there's still some conversation there, but she definitely believes in eating meat. So there's a ton of benefit in eating meat, obviously. Now, okay, when you jumped into carnivore diet, so I guess we need to dive into a little bit here with the ancestral supplements, because I feel like that's a part of your success too, though, right?
Well, yeah, because a carnivore diet, I don't think can be, if you're not eating organs on a carnivore diet, then I do think you're at a risk of getting
you're not getting
some nutrient deficiencies.
Right.
There are many nutrients in organs that will just fill any nutrition gap. In fact, I think if a vegan or a vegetarian was taking our supplements,
they'd be okay.
They would be okay.
Yeah,
they would be getting a lot of the nutrients that
but
their
then
diet
that'd
is
be counterproductive for them because they think they're getting the nutrients from the plant-based diet.
Well, I don't know,
some of the
because
same
there are nutrients. I think any vegan and vegetarian will be able to attest that. Well, yeah, there is. You're going to have a hard time getting sufficient amount of iron. You're going to have a hard time possibly getting vitamin A or copper and zinc. You know, these micronutrients that are critical for a lot of biological functions.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, carnivore diet. Right now you got rice involved in there as well. Tell us about the supplements. And again, it's Ancestral Supplements. That's
Ancestral.
Who you work.
Ancestral.
What'd I say?
Ancestral.
Incest? Did I say
No,
ancestral?
not ancestral.
It's not ancestral. Ancestral?
Ancestral.
There goes
Yeah.
our PG-13 right now.
No, we're good. So that's the company you work for.
Yeah.
Your headquarters is based out of Willis, Texas.
That's right.
Right. But yeah, I guess dive into that company, that product. Can I see one of those?
Sure. Yeah. Here, take the
What do I
beef
got?
organs.
All right. So go ahead, tell us what Ancestral Supplements is all about and why it fits with the carnivore diet.
Well, okay, so it fits with the carnivore diet because a lot of people, they're ready to make the jump to carnivore, but now they still can't wrap their heads around. But I know I have to eat organs because I even believe a carnivore diet does not necessarily work for all the health benefits and performance benefits unless it's nose to tail carnivore. Mm-hmm. So you got to be getting the organ meats as well.
Can't just be eating ribs.
Yeah, if you're eating
Steaks.
ribeyes and water every day, I think you're going to run into some problems too.
Right.
But if you're incorporating eggs, you're incorporating some liver, maybe some heart every now and then, I think you're going to be perfectly fine.
For some reason, every time you start describing the organs, my image is that you're like in this cave at home, and there's like blood on the walls, and you're just eating the organs, straight from the animal. But obviously, do you just supplement them, or do you also cook and eat?
I also eat liver. I do eat liver raw. I eat it in raw form. I have a little recipe. I think that makes it really good.
Yeah.
Some people, they like to eat liver just frozen,
Yeah.
and they say it has a chocolate taste to it.
I've actually heard that though.
Honestly,
I've never tried.
Like, that sounds good to me. I'm down to eat some liver. I don't care.
So, but with the argument now, like for somebody that's coming at me hard and they're like, "You gotta have vegetables, bro." Mm-hmm. You're saying that you're going to be able to get those nutrients and not only get them within, like, say, the supplementation or the organs, but even a better source, a better delivery system.
More bioavailable.
Yeah.
Be more bioavailable because it's the same operating
And no
system.
toxins.
Plants are a PC and carnivore's a Mac, for example. Or maybe I want to say that the other way around. Carnivores.
I don't like Mac. It's very tough.
So it just makes sense. I mean,
Right.
to eat the same. The same operating system. I mean,
Right.
we are much more similar to ruminants and cows or goats or whatever than we are to plants.
So it's not just beef. It's not just
Cows. Like I said, it could be
Carnivore.
elk. It could be venison.
anything. Yeah. So okay. So I feel like that's a pretty strong argument if I was to have to argue with somebody. But I do like the concept because I like meat, so that makes
I like
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not too far off from a carnivore diet. Carnivore diet anyway. I can't speak today.
Just stay over there. In
Well,
the corner.
okay. So and
He doesn't
you
eat
say-
anything green.
You say you do rice, which is based off Stan Efferding's version of
Vertical
the diet.
diet, yeah.
And what I do is I eat 6 eggs in the morning. Mm-hmm. I eat beef and rice for lunch, and then whatever my mom cooks for dinner. So really, the only thing between our diets is like bread. I eat a lot of bread and stuff.
Right. Well, and I'm glad you brought this up because I did want to point this out, and I think it's important, because you mentioned your friend who was on the vegan diet or vegetarian diet
Right.
and developed diabetes and stuff like that, and
Almost diabetes.
pre-diabetes.
Pre-diabetes.
So, but I think whether you're vegan, whether you're carnivore, whether you're paleo, I think we can agree on a few things here. Number one, grains should be eliminated. Processed sugar, processed grains should be eliminated, and industrial oils eliminated.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So if you eliminate those three things, you're already on the right track.
Yeah,
I think you're on a better track.
Okay.
You've eliminated all the processed grains, all the processed sugar, and the industrial oils that are so inflammatory to our body,
Right.
Yeah, like vegetable oil.
like vegetable oil or canola oil or stuff like that.
So back to the supplements here, because I'm interested in that too. What do we got right here? What are these four
Well,
bottles?
The four I grabbed here were pretty much the four that I could reach quick enough, you know. So we have a line of I think we have 22 products.
Right.
I mean, it's literally nose to tail.
Is it all
22
in?
different organs?
22 different organs, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. We have a couple blends, like our latest one is MOFO, Male Optimization Formula. And that's a blend of testicle, prostate, liver, bone marrow, and heart. So it's
It's
all
a little hard to swallow right now by saying that you're gonna have to ingest some.
Is it hard for you to swallow, though?
Oh, not at all. I've been so excited for this product to
It's
come
a newer
out.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is our latest one.
So, okay, can you hold one of those bottles in front of your face and look at that camera?
So kind of like that.
No, right in front of your face.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Yeah,
this.
cover your face up.
Okay.
Grass-fed or what's it, beef organs? Is
Beef
it all
organs.
beef?
Yeah,
You
it's
can
all.
put it, you can
it's
put
all
it back
beef.
down now. There you
Okay.
go.
It's all beef. The only product that is sourced from lamb is our thymus. That one comes from lamb, but all the other products are sourced from beef.
All right, and I don't know if we can go over all 22. But
Probably not.
What is your top 3 or 4 that you would suggest for probably anybody,
Yeah.
not even doing carnivore, but just these are gonna really benefit, say, your performance and your health?
Without a doubt, I would say beef liver. Beef liver is, in my opinion, and I think this arguably could probably be a fact. Beef liver is the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. Nowhere on the planet will you find anything that has more vitamins, more nutrients, and that's only what's studied. I mean, if you on a cellular level, there's so many things that liver has that you can't isolate in a lab. It has enzymes. It has cofactors. Right. It supports your own liver, which is so incredibly important for detoxification pathways. But from a nutrient standpoint alone, liver is by far the best. So
liver is number 1.
if you're going to get one, go with beef liver.
Yeah. Where do you buy beef liver? Like as a actual meat?
Well, you can go. There's some local farms that has, like I think the closest one to here is Calico Farms off of League Line. They'll have lamb liver and beef liver from time to time. I think any Whole Foods will have grass-fed beef liver.
Well, I mean, Kroger has. You can get liver from Kroger, right?
Yeah.
But do you want to?
See, that's the thing. If I'm going to eat liver, I'm going to make sure it's grass-fed,
Exactly,
grass-finished.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, liver. What's the number 2 on the list? Do you have a number 2?
Number 2, I would say bone marrow. And that's what we call our bone marrow product is bone marrow, but it's really whole bone extract.
You're really tricking some people there.
Well, you're getting the bone marrow, of course, but what it is it's ground up bone extract from the femur down to the knuckles end of the cow. Wow. And so you're getting whole bone matrix, you're getting bone marrow, and you're getting all the cartilage that's in there as well. So because it has cartilage, it's going to have collagen, but that product is similar, has the exact same constituents of a 3-day simmered homemade bone broth. So all of that nourishment you're getting in a capsule form as well. So
it's all capsule.
It's capsule.
Yeah.
Yeah. So liver and bone marrow, I would say get that for fundamental support.
Right. What's the third on the list? We'll go one more.
Third, well,
I kind of think I know where he's going with this, but go ahead.
No, I don't think you do.
Okay.
The third one, I think now we just get into, well, now it's going to depend on the individual.
Okay.
What are you really looking to support? Where do you need help?
Let's just talk about let's not talk about a CrossFitter that's like trying to go to some sort of qualifier or something. Let's just talk about, I don't know, the everyday guy that's got a job. He works out, but it's not his whole life. But he wants to be healthy. He wants to change something. These first 2 can apply to anybody, right?
Anybody, yeah.
So the third one, isn't necessarily just the peak performer. Like what's an option there?
I would probably suggest, let's say it's a CrossFitter, it's somebody who's hitting the gym
Right.
5 times a week.
Sure.
Their joints are going through a beating.
Right.
I would probably suggest the trachea, which is our bovine tracheal cartilage, because the cartilage that's in that product is, just been proven to show how it supports the soft tissues of your body and will help keep your joints very healthy as well.
Yeah, I need some of that.
Yeah.
I'm 35 now. That's the biggest thing I feel like is inflammation and my joint health. I think kind of tie together, honestly. But that's what I've struggled with a lot. So you're talking about the trachea? What'd you say?
Trachea.
Trachea,
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so I think we're going to go to a break for a second, and then I'll come back, and I have some questions that I just thought up.
Oh,
within
wow.
the past
Good.
10 minutes.
Random
So-
questions. We like those.
Nice.
All right, let's go to that break.
Gary, you go.
Okay, so you say you have 22 different organs at Ancestral Supplements. You have everything from testicles to prostate to liver. Is skin one of those organs? I have to know.
No, actually, we don't have a skin product.
No. Is there anything in skin that would be beneficial, like just eating skin, I guess?
Oh, wow.
That's
the
creepiest ass question I've ever heard.
I'm not
Hey,
sure.
we're talking about eating
but
liver
I think,
and prostate.
I think
don't
it has-
skin's a stretch.
Stretch the skin. Anyway.
Well, I think it might have collagen. So I
Collagen.
think that would be pretty good. But if that's the case, you might as well just take collagen.
Yeah.
Might just eat
Rather
collagen.
than eating skin.
Rather than eating skin.
Hey, you never know.
We do have a collagen product called Living Collagen, and that might be the closest thing to eating skin.
All right.
I just wonder if Garrett's asking because he eats his own skin.
It might-
like you get a sunburn and then as you're peeling.
It's like what's the movie with Austin Powers?
Well,
he takes the skin. Have you anybody seen it?
I haven't seen
Gold member.
No.
I remember Goldmember, but
He would take little
You're right. I remember
skin
this.
flecks off of his head and
Well,
save them for later.
I didn't know
Yes.
if people ate dried skin like jerky or something. I don't know.
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Let's move on.
Next question.
So, and then one of the first encounters we had with you, we right after you joined the gym, we took you to a comp down in Houston.
Literally like a week later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we took you to a comp down there at Skyline CrossFit, and you had a gallon of milk, and you were drinking it. And I was so happy because just before that, for like a few weeks, I was doing a gallon of milk a day, and everybody was making fun of me because I was drinking a gallon of milk.
It wasn't
a day.
because of the
and
milk.
you know what? I gained weight, so it was working. But is that what you were doing? Were you doing a gallon of milk a day? And
No, I wasn't.
No.
I was just drinking some raw milk. That's all it was. But I think
No one's weird like you did.
no, but I do think if you're trying to put on muscle, you're trying to put on weight. I think a gallon of milk a day is the way to go. Actually at Ancestral Supplements, we have a couple guys that are drinking. Man, it's something like 7 or 8 gallons of milk per week. I mean, and this is raw milk. So
raw milk. There's no sugar. Or
Well,
anything. Well, I guess that's in milk.
well, there is some, in the form of lactose, but it's just got so much better enzymes. It's just much better for you than pasteurized milk, which is basically just killed off everything that is good for you. So anyway, a gallon of milk a day, I think, is actually pretty damn good for somebody who will call it a hard gainer. If you're a hard gainer, if you're drinking a gallon of milk a day, eating carnivore diet, taking your organs and eating your rice, I think you're going to be a beast.
So, and just to build off that, dairy in your diet, what does that look like? Do you eat a lot of dairy?
I do, actually. I eat quite a bit of...
Is that part of carnivore?
That's a debatable thing.
Yeah.
But it is an animal product.
Right.
But because of it being, dairy, you got to kind of process this.
Right.
It becomes a little bit different. But I do take dairy myself. I love yogurt. I love like organic, fresh, whole milk yogurt. I think it's delicious.
Yeah. I mean, there's some stuff that says like dairy's going to cause some inflammation, and there's some stuff that could backfire in dairy products.
And I think that's going to have to be taken on a case by case basis.
Right.
Some people
Well,
might
that's
have.
you told him to introduce it for 3 or 4 days, see how you react.
Yeah. I was using that in my example. So try carnivore, just strict carnivore for 30 days, and then see how you do reintroducing dairy back in. See if you have any flare-up. Some people might notice they have some eczema flare-up on their skin or digestive constiipation. Well, you know dairy's not good for you, but other people will be able to tolerate it just fine.
All right. That's all I had.
That's all you had.
That's all I had.
All right, he got his 2 cents in. Talking about the product a little bit more. First of all, I've never heard of this product until I talked with you. Where can you find product like that? And I guess another thing is too, not only where can you find it, but if somebody's interested, but they don't know what product would be best for them, how do they figure all that out? Website? I mean, how's that done? Like if I don't know anything about it, but I want to get on top of some of the stuff. Me as a person is different than you and different than him. How do I figure out what I want, what I need, and how do I get it?
Well, I would say the best place to start is to send us an email, ancestralsupplements@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe we have the best customer service out of any company in the planet.
Right.
So if you're looking to get started and you want to start off on the right foot, that's what we're here for. I have a team of people. We're phenomenal. We'll take you by the hand, guide you through the process, make sure that you get the right products in your hand. But it doesn't stop there because we're much more than just a nose-to-tail supplement. We believe in ancestral living as a lifestyle. So that's going to encompass a lot more. It's going to encompass sunlight. It's going to encompass sleep. It's going to encompass diet. It's going to encompass just any aspect of life that may need to be more ancestrally aligned. Even down to like EMF radiation and, how much are you using your cell phone? Can we get away from that type deal? So there's a lot of
Don't you have like a flip phone?
I wish I did. Sometimes I wish I was like, man, I wish this was a flip phone.
Right.
We get away from all these smartphone EMFs. But yeah, ancestralsupplements@gmail.com. That's if you want to reach out to us and we can help you get on the perfect path back to ancestral living.
Yeah.
Then you can find our products through our webpage, ancestralsupplements.com, and we're also sold on Amazon.
So you establish a relationship with most of your customers, it sounds like. Because, again, this is something that's not mainstream. What people are doing in the supplement game is like, all right, here's protein, and then like 2,500 other companies just do the same pretty much mix-up. This isn't something you just see on the shelves anywhere. So that's why I asked, because I feel like, I like the idea. I like being able to go, like you said, nose to tail?
Nose to tail.
Yeah, nose. I'm trying to go nose to tail, man. But what's best for me? I'm 35. I'm not trying to be the next CrossFit champion, but I still want to hit it hard. So I think that'd be different than me and then this 18-year-old cat over here that's trying to gain weight, trying to, hit it harder, whatever. So I feel like there's definitely got to be somebody to guide me. So that's what you're saying y'all do.
Yeah, that's what we do. And, even if you make your order on Amazon, you'll get an email from us. And it'll give you the opportunity to respond and get the conversation going and help you out there. So either way is perfectly fine. You could go through Amazon. You could send us an email directly. In fact, one of our members here, Kevin, he ordered one of our products and he got the email and emailed back, and there was an exchange back and forth. He got some good direction there. So it's really a good opportunity, and that's the main reason why you won't find our supplements at Whole Foods or at Walmart or at GNC, because if that were the case, we would lose that connection with our customer. Yeah. Being able to sell on Amazon and through our webpage gives us the opportunity to reach out to each customer and to establish a relationship with them, hold them by the hand, and really get them back to what ancestral health and healing really is.
Yeah, no, I think that's great. Is that something that's a service that y'all charge for, or
no? That's
just the company's.
This is what we do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's pretty awesome. I didn't know that about that as well. So, as intrigued as I am over the product, the service sounds like it's on tap as well. Because, again, it's something that's definitely foreign for most people to even talk about this stuff. So it would definitely have to have somebody guiding me in the right direction.
Yeah.
Gary, what do you think about that?
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'm totally down to try the carnivore diet. I'm actually kind of excited. It's I love meat, so I'm down to just eat meat 24/7.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to try liver. That's something that's on my bucket list now.
Let's get you
Liver.
some good liver.
Yeah.
I feel like we need to establish a day to come up here and do like a cook thing, like for the gym, like how you would eat. Like let's do a little cookout with some supplementation, and then like see like, hey, this isn't too bad.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like here's my plate of ribs, a little bit of chicken breast, and I guess some rice in your case. What else would you put on the side of that plate?
We could have some soft boiled eggs. We could have some raw eggs.
Yeah.
We could have some yogurt.
Oh yeah.
We could do we could do some liver. We could do some grilled liver. One thing that is delicious, in my opinion, sweetbreads. That's thymus and pancreas. It's so fatty. It's delicious.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
That sounds
See,
good.
that's what I'm saying. We need to. Yeah, I haven't ate today. We need to get you to do a cook off or something up here to really kind of dive.
We'll
into
bring the
some-
regular meat, like the beef and burgers and chicken, and you can bring all the specialty stuff.
Yeah.
Grill up the delicacies.
Yeah. Well, shoot, man. I think this has been a really cool opportunity to get to talk with you on not only the supplements and your diet, but just who you are as a person. Thought that was pretty fun. So definitely appreciate you coming on to the show, the Olympian Project today.
This was a blast. Yeah, thank you for having me on. We had a lot of fun. So
Yeah, we may have some behind-the-scenes footage to release, some stuff that might have been talked about when I wasn't here. I'm going to look back at all the tracks. So anyway, man, appreciate it. You got anything to finish on over there, Gary?
Yes, actually. So, and this is
I didn't expect this.
Real quick.
Oh,
real quick. So you're from Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
And you talk about plants having these toxins, and I think the one that everyone's familiar with is spicy stuff, spicy seeds and stuff. And in Puerto Rico and Spanish countries, y'all like spicy food. Was that hard getting rid of spicy food?
Well, actually, no. Spicy food is not a thing in Puerto Rico.
Oh, really?
It really
Okay.
isn't.
Okay.
No.
I heard it coming out. I go, no.
No. Yeah, we don't really like spicy food that much.
Okay.
That's really more. I think more Mexican, maybe South American. That's much more popular, but.
Do you feel like
Puerto
an
Rico is
asshole now?
more
No,
Caribbean.
I mean, I didn't know, and now the more you know, I guess.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So not a
interesting.
spicy food country in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, not huge on spicy food.
Never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was it.
Wow, that's a
That's
good
it.
way to end that. Anything you want to add before we get off?
No, again, just want to reiterate my thankfulness for the opportunity to be on the show, and I had a blast. So really, thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
Well, we definitely will probably have you back on at some point. I think there's still more to talk about, and especially if we decide to maybe even try this, there's going to be a follow-up,
Oh,
I'm
that
sure.
would be fun.
Well, I'm
This
sitting
will
over
become
here
a
like,
series.
Yeah, a little serious. Well, and like I said, we do have somebody we're going to talk to that's not a vegan, but had been a vegan before, and so we're gonna hear a little bit of the other end of the spectrum, and we might get y'all in here to fight it out.
Oh, okay.
Just
I'll be
kidding.
ready.
All right, guys. Well, that's going to end it up for us on the Olympian Project. As always, you can check it out on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. Maybe that's where you're doing it right now. So anyway, until next time, thanks to our guest, Michael Rullan. Damn it, did I say it right?
That was really good.
Was it really?
Yeah,
Good.
yeah, that was really good.
Thanks to him for coming on the show and giving us all this knowledge and spending his time with us. We'll see y'all next time.
Peace.